I know it has been a while since I have done a video, and I'm gonna have to remember to hold my head still because the camera is right here on my hat. Today, okay, I know I left you guys off on in the middle of making a crazy quilt for my grandson. I still have to finish that. I have not finished that yet, but I'm currently working on a project. Things got wild and crazy personally and business wise, so I had to take a break from making the quilt just simply because gosh, it's been a year since I've posted a video. That is crazy. But it got into Christmas shopping season for my bookstore, and I had to take a break from videoing and working on the quilt because Christmas shopping season for any retail business, especially here in the US, is crazy busy, and which is great. Great, but it's not conducive to doing other things too. So I did take a break from working on the quilt, and then all the pieces are still together, but then they all got covered up with other things and life and craziness. So I finally have gotten them dug back out. So I am going to start working on those again. But for now, I'm making pumpkins. This is my first attempt at my pumpkin. This was my practice pumpkin. So I call my grandbabies my pumpkins. So I wanted to make a shirt that says Grammy's Punkins and have pumpkins with their names. So these are my pumpkins. So the oldest one, the middle one, and this one is going to be for the baby. But so this one was my practice to see what I liked, what I didn't like, what I wanted to tweak, what I wanted to do differently. It was just, like I said, just a practice. So as you can see, my seams are on the inside of this one, and the curve did make that a little bit difficult to do on these outside pieces. It wasn't so bad on the center piece. These outside pieces, that curve was interesting to stitch. And I like it fine. I do. It's just not really the look I was going for. So, and then, then I just, I wanted to kind of incorporate crazy quilting techniques into this. So I stitched the seams differently. So this is a alternating blanket stitch is what that is. This is a twisted chain stitch, and this is a fly stitch. I mean a feather stitch. And then I just stem stitched the outside of that, and I back stitched that, and then I just threw some random stitches in there to kind of make that stand out a little bit more. But anyways, overall I was not terribly disappointed in it, but I didn't love it. So my next attempt was this one, and I like it. I like it much better. You still get a little bit of the raw seams with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this down. So the stem stitch that's on the outside of this, I may use that, or I may use a different kind of stitch, but I'll stitch this down to a shirt around the edges, and then again around the leaf and around the stem. So, and then I can come in and do different, I can't decide if I'm going to do different stitches in here or if that's going to be too much. So once I get it stitched down to a shirt, then I'll decide if I'm going to do the stems or if I'm just going to put the first letter of their names in the middle here, something like that. I don't want to overdo it, but I still want it to be cute. And I know it's going to be my shirt and I'm going to wear it, but they're all boys, so I feel like I can't make it too cutesy, if that makes sense. So that's where we are with that. So I'm trying to incorporate, 3 different colors, but I'm trying to incorporate the different colors in each pumpkin, if that makes sense. So like this orange pumpkin has the leaf that's from one of the greens that's going to be for the baby. And then this pumpkin has the orange in it from here. So then this pumpkin is going to have the blue in it from here. And I am going to use this again for the stem. I did like this for the stem. I still do like this for the stem. But I feel like it kind of disappears into the background. So, and I feel like this stands out a little bit better. So, while I like it, I do feel like it just kind of, you know, fades off into the background. So, I'm going to keep that for the stem on the next one. So, and I have my template that I'm going to use to cut out my third pumpkin. So I'll show you guys how I've been doing that. And I'm going to use this little clip here to keep everything together. You can hear the crows in the background. They're out there. I'm just going to pull this whole thing out. See, there's all my other templates. Hi there, Mr. Crow. There's all my other templates. And I number them so that I keep them in the right order for the part of the pumpkin they need to be. So then I'll get another clip here. So I'll get my stem. And you want to, so when you're tracing your patterns, you want to trace them upside down on the back of your material. And I just realized I did not bring my pencil out, so I'm gonna have to pause the video, guys, and then come back with my pencil. And sorry for the traffic noise. I am sitting outside enjoying my nice new patio area, and it's fall and it's cooler, which is really nice, so we're not just sweltering in the summer heat. So I really enjoy. Even during the summer, like when I first got this set up, I still enjoyed sitting out here. It was still so nice, especially in the evenings. Okay. So I still don't want to lose that. So I'm going to stick that back there. So I really have enjoyed this little patio area I have set up out here. So lovely. Okay, so don't cut on the line. You're going to want to leave 1/4 of an inch, and I actually probably leave 1/2 inch just because I don't want to risk not having enough space for stitching. So I'm going to come, okay, so maybe not quite 1/2 inch, maybe it's between 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. But I mean, if you want to measure it and add an extra, that's fine. Do that if that makes it easier for you. I'm an eyeballer. I measure with my heart on most everything. Cooking, sewing, you know, everything. So that's how we do it here in the South. If you need a true, see, and I got a little small there, so probably did leave 1/4 inch there. And then I'm just gonna round off this top right here. So then that's what it looks like on the front side. So, and then I'm finished with this piece. I can tuck it away. But then I'm going to put this little piece, this clip on this little piece, so I don't lose that piece. So, and then we're just going to continue. So that's for the leaf. Ah, see, the wind's going to blow it away. Again, I love sitting out here, but I brought my clips because I knew I was going to have trouble with the wind. But it sounds so lovely. It feels so lovely. I'm just really enjoying being out here. And for this one, I didn't do the stem because it's so small, but for this one, yeah, flip it over. And it probably doesn't matter on the leaf, but see, then you can just pin it. I didn't do the other one just because it's so small. Now then, I'm going to change my pin direction so that I can I would not stab myself, so that I can then trace the other side of this. I got it off just a little bit. I can't. I tell you, this little lap desk thing has been super handy for sitting out here and for sitting on my couch. I mean, and it's just your standard lap desk. It is not for anything else. And I actually think it's like a kid's lap desk. I probably found it at Hobby Lobby or Walmart or something. And just thought, oh, I think I need this. You just have those moments where you're like, I think I can use this. I think I can make this work. Well, it was one of those moments where I was like, you know what? I think I need that. I think I can use that. So I got it. And it has been so handy because I love to sit on the couch and stitch in the evenings. And it just keeps me from losing things too easily, keeps things from falling down the cracks super quickly before I can catch them, or gives me a stable, place to sit things on for my projects. Because I've still been stitching, even though I haven't been videoing. Videoing was set up to video at my dining room table. And while that's okay, that's not where I want to sit. And then with things being crazy, I was like, you know what? I just want to relax. Like, that's the whole purpose of my stitching, is to relax, not add stress to my already stressful day. So I took a hiatus because things were just already so crazy and hectic. It just felt like adding a lot to that. So I okay, I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound a little bit crazy. It aggravates my husband is why I say it. I am retired now. I know that sounds insane. Not many people retire at my age. So, and while I am retired from the bookstore business, I have closed my store and just enjoying life. And that's very recent. Like, I very recently closed it. It's been less than a month since we've closed the store and cleaned out the building and packed it all up and just said, I wanted to sell it. I was hoping to sell it just simply because I didn't want to leave my little town without a, I say little, it's not very small, but I just didn't want to leave everybody. I had too many wonderful customers, and I didn't want to leave them without a bookstore. So I am sad in the fact that I didn't get to sell it and leave everybody with a bookstore. But I have been enjoying retirement, just to be honest. Okay, I was trying to find out which direction, what order I wanted to do those in. I think I like that order. So now then, let me find number 1. That was number 1. And I'll put these back here on the back. Okay, so then we'll just follow the same process again. And since I already have a cutout here, I may the curve of this makes it difficult. Can't do that. Okay. I think that'll work out. Okay. So I sit out here in my nice little patio area and stitch, and I help my daughter out with the grandbabies occasionally. Which I'm also, I don't stitch a whole lot really, or as much as I could possibly, because everything that was in the store that was not like part of the store, like, you know, you have Christmas decorations and stuff that you use for the business. You have, like, and we did murder mystery dinner parties, so I had decorations for those. So you have all of these like event decorations and different, I feel like that's not very dark. So you have all these other things that are not technically, you know, part of the store or whatever as far as inventory goes. So you're not selling those off when you're closing. Should fly. And so all of that got brought to our house, back to our house. And we also had been using the store for storage just because it was convenient. Like, oh, we don't have room for that at the house, we'll just put it at the store, because, you know, there's just so much extra room in the back there. Oh, this one really is getting a 1/4 of an inch. Come in a bit close on this one. It's okay. I shall make it work. But anyways, so all of the stuff that we had kind of put back there was like, it's one of, you know, out of sight, out of mind. So, you know, we just kind of stored it there, and then it was like, oh, hey, where is this that we need? So then we'd be like, oh yeah, it's at the store. Well, then it would go back to the store when we were finished with it. And so again, you forget about all those things until you're actually like cleaning out and having to move it. And so then it's like, now we actually do have to find a place for this to fit in our house. So our house has been packed with boxes. Boxes. There's our number 1 piece. And so I've been going through and clearing out boxes and emptying, moving out boxes, getting stuff ready for yard sales. in between, like, we've also been doing some traveling. We spent a couple of days in Cleveland, Tennessee. Very, very lovely place. If you haven't been, please go. You won't be disappointed. My husband played in a disc golf tournament, and I shopped, and I absolutely loved shopping in downtown Cleveland. I did not want chain stores. I did not want malls. I wanted small, locally owned, because that's what I know the struggle for small, locally owned. And I didn't close because it was too difficult. It was getting a bit stressful. And maybe I'll get into that more in a later video, but it's okay. It was getting a bit stressful, but business was good. We were doing fine. But when you own your own business, you are tied to that business, especially when you are owner and operator, and it's just a small business that doesn't have lots of employees. So and it's all you. So we wanted to travel more and do more, and that's difficult with owning a business. So I made the decision. Ken had been on me to make a decision for a while, so I finally made the decision of, okay, it's time. We'll close and have more time for traveling and doing. So we did. We spent the weekend in Tennessee, and again, because I know what it's like to have a small business, I went up with the intention of looking for small businesses to shop when I went. And oh my goodness, y'all, I don't know about anybody else, but this trip, like, I don't always pray before going shopping, but I did this trip just because I was specifically wanting small, locally owned, purposeful shopping. I wanted good shopping, but I wanted it, I wanted shopping that makes a difference. And so I did. I prayed for the Lord to send me to the kind of places I was looking for, and did he ever. I ended up, like, the very first stop I made, I ended up at this super cute little body lotion, body oil, candles, rooms for, like, organic, and it was all organic, all natural ingredients in those. And I have been strictly only buying things with with organic ingredients for several years now. And so I was so excited that I found it. But then the little girl, I say girl, woman, so sweet. Tiffany was so sweet. But as soon as I walked in, she was so nice. And then she, after asking had I ever been in there before, and me telling her no, she starts telling me the story behind the business. And they're nonprofit, and they're owned by a woman who was rescued from human trafficking, and she uses the business to teach other women who were rescued from human trafficking how to make the lotions and the soaps and the candles and all the stuff. And okay, so time out. I don't put this notch in here because that's from, I just cut this pumpkin out of a piece of paper, and that's where the leaf was, and I don't need that notch in there, and I'm going to sew the leaf over it anyways, so I just round off that top right there. So Same thing with this little notch in this one. I'm not going to put that notch there. I'm just going to round it, and then I don't have to worry about my placement of my leaf. I can move it as I need to, and it just will fit in wherever I need it to fit in. There's that. But anyway, so back to my shopping trip. So she was telling me about the lady and the business and their mission, and I just loved it. It was just amazing. Just was so excited that I found it. And then, so of course I did shopping there, which they also teach the women to sew and to make things. Ooh, that got big. To make things by hand. Well, not really by hand. Like they use a sewing machine, but they can, make pot holders and fabric coasters and aprons and even little clutches and wallets and change purses and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my goodness. So of course I got some of the sewn stuff, and I got a ton of the candles, which I love good smelling candles that are naturally scented anyways. Gosh, I just love me a good candle. So I got a ton of the candles, I got a ton of the body lotion, and the soaps and all the stuff. I mean, I just loaded up and was so excited. And then they had t-shirts. I got a couple of t-shirts because, of course, you just gotta have proof that you were there, right? T-shirt says I was here. So don't blow away before I get a pin in you. So I did do all of that, and it was so nice. So then she was telling me, oh, well, if you love us and our store, you really need to pop over to this other little business over here. They work with women. Oh, and the name of that business in Cleveland, Tennessee is WillowBend Farms. So, and you don't have to be in Cleveland to shop them. You can shop them online. They also have online. So you don't have to go to Cleveland to shop them. There's just a little plug for them. It's WillowBend Farms. I just thought their story was amazing, and really, really love the helping others aspect of it, especially those who have been so unfortunate to be in such a terrible, terrible situation. So there's that. Go to WillowBend Farms, shop them. You won't be disappointed. And I forget, don't move. The camera's on my hat. I don't know how much I'm gonna like this. I think I'm gonna have to find a different way to video. We got a new camera. We're testing it out because I was using my phone for all of my videoing, and that's not always the easiest. And my husband's phone does terrible videos, so he wanted a way. Like, and we have a sailboat, so we also video on our sailboat, so it's not always easy for me to hold the phone and help sail the boat. So we were needing a camera that we could just set up, that would we could set up, hook to the boat somehow or other, and video while I was also helping with sheets and lines and all the things. So we're testing this one out, and I thought, well, it'll be also good for my stitching videos, which I have been terrible about doing, but I'm going to get back to doing. Sorry, guys. I thought it was a yellow jacket, And there tends to be this hornet that comes around. Oh my gosh, y'all, I just realized I did this in my jabbering on. I did this on the wrong side. And I don't think I can, and it's going to be, I don't think it'll erase, so I think I'm going to have to, maybe it will. Maybe it will. Maybe if I just, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. I had been doing so good at doing it on the opposite side, and then here I go on this very last piece, and yabber, yabber, yabber. And do it. Just do it on the wrong side. Oh, that is going to be... I may have to figure out what to do about that on that piece. I don't want to waste it, but I may have to figure out what to do about it later. If that's gonna, I don't think it's gonna erase very well. Shoo. I mean, it is erasing, and I don't know if you can tell from the camera, like it is erasing, but there's still a faint line there, and lead does not typically erase out material. I mean, wash out. So even if I washed it, I don't know what that would do. I was just jabbering, and I'd been doing so good. I did all the others just right, and then here I go on this last piece. I don't know, maybe. Oh, there's still faint line. There's still a faint line right there. Well, poo. Okay. Well, there's all these little, I'm out here in the wind, and there's all these little things blowing around, sticking to me. Okay, well, I'm just going to go to the opposite side and do this again. See? And there's a bug. Okay, we'll do this again. And I'll figure out how to salvage that other piece over there later on. Anyways, but yes, there's 2 businesses in Cleveland that, so the next business I went to, the Tiffany at WillowBend Farms sent me over to a business called Project Free to Fly, and they work with women who have been in abusive situations, and they also teach them how to sew. They teach them how to sew using leather and material. So, of course, I had to go over there and check them out. I ended up buying a super cute purse, a little small purse that also doubles as a fanny pack, and then I bought my husband a leather travel toiletries case. I can put this in here. let's see. Again, I bought me a t-shirt. I bought him a t-shirt. You know, I just got stuff. Oh, they had these cute little sewn bookmarks. So I, of course, had to get me one of those. I got my mom one of those too. She's a reader too. So I just had a lovely day of shopping. But those are my two, oh my gosh, favorite places, and I was so excited that I found them. So WillowBend Farms, Cleveland, Tennessee, and Project Free to Fly, Cleveland, Tennessee, they both have websites. So I'll try to link them in the video description so you can go check them out. Because if you're not in Cleveland, you don't have to go to Cleveland. If you're not going to Cleveland, you don't have to make a special trip. Oh, I made that terribly crooked. All wonky. And jagged. Oh, much better. Oh, when I frayed it. Okay, that's okay. We like a little fray. A little fray. It fits our aesthetic. Okay, so then, now that we have all of our pieces, now we have to put them together. So we're going to leave our leaf and our stem off. We're going to take our number 1 and our number 2. And we're going to put them together. Ooh, don't go anywhere. We're going to put them together first. Got that all wobbly down there. Oof, I can't hold both. Still, I'm not getting this super rounded without being wobbly. That's better. Maybe. We shall see. So, yep, the bottom is better. I'm going to have to fix the top now. Okay, what you're going to look for when you actually go to stitch this together is you're seeing how this lines up and overlaps, because you want it to look like, you know, pumpkin-ish. But, oh, see, this line should overlap that line, and it does. Oh, not lined up so well. So then we're going to pin. I try to pin outside of the line I'm stitching on, because I have to stitch along that line. Ooh, and it's fall and acorns are coming out. We are surrounded by oak trees. Oh, so sitting outside sometimes is at your own risk, because the acorns do fall with force. So sometimes it feels like you're taking your life into your own hands. Well, hello, Mama. You cannot get up here. You know, you know. So I'm gonna stitch Well, I can just start stitching from that end, and then it won't matter. So, oh, what's that? That, I think we're going to do that one. And then I've got some quilting cotton. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. You're cute. I love cats, but I'm allergic to cats. So we have a couple of cats simply because they just, hey, you can't have my drink either. Because they just show up. Hey, don't knock it over. Actually, that's being nice. I don't want to be too rude on here, but people out in the country where I live tend to throw animals out. So we have ended up with 2 cats because whoever their previous owners, when they were kittens, threw them out. And we're not the only ones on the road. My cousin lives just through the trees that way. She's had a couple of kittens that have been thrown out and just showed up at her house. So, and I've joked my whole life, the road my dad lives on is the road everybody drops their puppies off on, because he's ended up with so many dogs because they've just been dropped out. And then apparently we are the road for cats. And while it's sad, it's also annoying. But, and so like I said, I'm allergic, but I love cats, but I'm allergic. So I can't pet them, can't play with them. So I just look at them, and it's so funny. They know that I can't pet them, apparently. So they taunt me ever so often, but they're used to me petting them with my feet with my shoes on. So they'll roll over and let me rub their belly with my feet with my shoes. But like if Ken or any of the kids pet the cats, they have to come in, like coming in the house, they have to go straight and wash their hands. And if Ken has picked up or held the cats, he has to change his shirt before sitting next to me on the couch or giving me a hug or anything else, because it gets bad. Max is our newest arrival, but we've had him, I guess, about a year now, and boy, Mama was not happy. She still doesn't love him. She still does not love him, but they play. I think she acts like she doesn't love him more than she actually doesn't love him. Hey, take it easy down there. Don't rip up my carpet, my rug. So then you just stitch them together. So then you're, so I know you don't want to just sit and watch me do this little run and stitch for very long. Although now that Mama's over here playing, you might be watching her. So maybe she showed up at the right time. You don't want to pull it tight and get a bubble in it. So now that we're getting close to the end, I can take a pin out. Oh no. Well, I didn't think those would blow away, but the wind has really picked up here all of a sudden. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll have to go chase those down. Okay. Yeah. Yes, the wind is not helping the situation today. I'm going to meet my daughter and the grandbabies here in less than an hour now at this point, to meet up with them for pumpkin patch. We're going to the pumpkin patch tonight, taking the babies to the pumpkin patch. They've been asking, and we tried to go earlier this week, but then it rained the day we were going to go. And while it wasn't raining when we were going to go, it was going to be still wet and yucky at the pumpkin patch. So we ended up not going that evening. No ma'am, no ma'am, you can't get up here. No, quit digging your claws into my furniture. Oh. So just did small running stitch on this front side, and you can't, I mean, they're not very noticeable, but you could even do invisible stitches if you wanted to. I did use invisible stitching on the leaf, tacking it down, just because the back, you just have to tack it down in such a random pattern to make sure that you've connected it to all the places it needs to be connected to. I did do invisible stitches on those for that reason. So yeah, that is an option. Good morning, everyone. So yes, we got disconnected yesterday because the battery died on the camera. So, but that's okay. I was going to stop recording pretty much about there anyways. I was going to finish stitching stuff down, which I did. I did the invisible stitch on the leaf and got it stitched down and the stem stitched down. And now, as you can see, I have attached them to my shirt, and or I've attached these two to the shirt. I used stem stitch on this one, and I've used running stitch on this one, and I really like the running stitch, and I don't know yet what I'm gonna do on this one, but I have decided, since I'm tying in the different colors, and I used green here and I used orange here, I'm gonna use the bluish color here. So I've got this is a Valdani, and this is the last of this specific Valdani that I have. I did use a Valdani stranded cotton on this. It's the only Valdani stranded cotton that I have, and it's a variegated rustic orange is what it's called. It turned out really nice. It matched this so well, so it brought it into here. So I really liked how that turned out. And so now I'm going to start working on this one. So right now I only have 3 grandbabies. And I hung my shirt on a hanger so that I could center it with the, and I've put iron-on Pellon on the back side on the inside of the t-shirt, so that I would have it would be stabilized for all of this stitching, and it's worked well. And then above this, I'm going to put Grammy's Punkins, not pumpkins, Punkins. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy this morning. Oh, there's already a knot in that. And I'm outside. It's not super early, but it is super chilly. So I was like, I'm going to bundle up. So I'm out here in my fluffy house coat to stay warm because it's quite chilly out this morning. So I'm just going to stitch this down on this one. And I don't know what to do on this one now because I like this and I like this. I think I'm going to do the running stitch again. So, guess maybe we'll just start with the running stitch again. And I've decided I'm not going to do anything on the edges of these seams because I'm going to come back in here and I'm going to put their first initial in the middle here. So I want to leave, I don't want to put too much stitching because then it gets overpowering and you lose a lot of your finer details. So I'm just going to leave those as they are, and I'm just gonna stitch their initials in here in these centers. But again, if you don't want to do pumpkins, you don't have to do pumpkins. You can do pumpkins, you can do leaves. You of course don't have to call them Grammy's pumpkins, because I mean, that's not what you call your grandbabies. If you call your grandbabies something else, something cute, I've heard people call their grandbabies puddings. So if you got puddings, do pudding cups. I'm not exactly sure what that would look like, but I mean, you could do it. You could make it work. You can find templates for just about anything. These first few stitches are a little more tricky. You don't do just a standard running stitch to get them down, just simply because the until this is down well, it wants to come back up when you stitch through it. So I've found that I have to use both hands to kind of hold this down. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's chilly enough out here, my breath is fogging. So I hope that's not affecting the video. And this is a Valdani. I actually have the thing for it in my basket because I was like, I'm gonna want more of this. I had 2 things of it and I used it to make this basket, which I'll do a video on as well, on how to do those fabric twine and then how to use fabric twine to make baskets. That was a lot of fun. I really did like doing those. And I did 2. Well, I literally just saw that little ring in here. There it is. There it is. So it's a Valdani number 5 and the color is M24 and it's a pearl cotton. But this is all I have left of this pearl cotton. Okay, so again, getting these first few stitches in is a little tricky, and I'm using a bigger needle because this is a bigger thread than I used on this side, so I think I'm gonna have even more of a tricky time. I'm in the neighbor's trailer. He does lawn care stuff, so he leaves every morning hauling his trailer, but his trailer always scrapes at the bottom of his driveway because his driveway's angled downhill. I waited, I've been up for a while, but I waited about coming out so that it would warm up a little bit, and it's still, I think it's only like 48 degrees still. So, still quite chilly out here. I was worried my hands would be too cold to be able to stitch. But so far they're doing okay. It was a little tighter because it went through this material of this pumpkin and through the next material and then into, I love that sound. We have, I don't think that's a pileated woodpecker. We have red-headed pileated woodpeckers, but I don't think that's the pileated woodpecker. I think that's another bird, and you hardly ever see them. You hear them all the time, but you never see them. Should I put more? I could put more. It'll just drift off underneath that leaf, I think. And then I'll start stitching the leaf down too. Do the tricky parts, and I know y'all don't want to watch me do just a whole bunch of running stitches, so I can do that and then come back and show you what it looks like finished. But it is so nice sitting out here. I'm just enjoying my little area out here. I'm gonna keep them far enough away from the edges that it'll hold it down, and then when it frays a little bit in the wash, it won't pull the stitches out. I went with my grandbabies to the pumpkin patch last night, which is fun as always. Which they're, the oldest is 5, then the middle is 2. He'll be 3 on the 1st of November. So in just a few weeks. A couple of weeks, not even a few weeks, a couple of weeks. And then the baby is 9.5 months. and he is a big boy. He's much bigger than the other two were at his age. And he's stout. Gosh, he's just feels like a, solid muscle. But he wants to go with his brothers and do. So he's already like learned, he's crawling really well, and he's pulling up, and he's gotten to where he can stand up without pulling up on anything just recently. And he started trying to take steps once he's up. So it won't be long before he's chasing after his brothers. And that is usually the motivation for little ones, walking, crawling, walking, getting mobile, because, they want to keep up with the siblings. So, like the oldest one, he didn't walk till closer to a year old, and the middle one, he didn't walk till closer to a year old. But the baby, he is like, out of my way, I am coming through. I don't have a whole lot left on this. Let's see, where can I guess I can come over here and see if I can get a few stitches in over here. Go where I wanted it to go. I hope y'all are able to see this. Oh, okay. I can see that pretty well. I just wanted to double check that. And I'm getting close to the end of this thread, so I'm gonna tie it off and then just start another thread. I don't like, I'm a stickler for saving thread, so of course it'll go into my remnants or scrap threads or arts or whatever you want to call them. Oh, I can't get a good hold. That's the only problem with using big hoops, and I needed a big hoop for this one, but you can't get, poo. Well, we'll just do this. One more on that. Try to get it below that knot this time. I'm gonna hold up my mouth like I shouldn't do. I'll use the big ones. Oh, there's the little ones. This is my little remnants, thread remnants baggie. How much of this is left? I may not. I'm going to cut that in half because it's going to tangle. Just didn't, sometimes It's just easier to stick it in your mouth than to reach across and stick it in the pincushion. Let's see, back over here, and I'm keeping this hanger in because it's actually helping hold the neck open so that I can reach through like that. Now then, I should be able to do just a standard running stitch. Now, my hoop isn't, like my material in my hoop isn't super tight. But again, I can't, it's in an awkward place, so I can't get a good hold. So, I can't, I'm just gonna have to keep doing a stem stitch. I can't get it, a stab stitch. I don't think I said stem stitch. Stab stitching because I can't get a good hold on it to run it up and down. And then I have room to add more pumpkins on here. For any other future grandbabies. We have 4 children, and the oldest has 3 babies and won't be having any more. Hello, there's Max. Max did not come visit us yesterday, but there's Max. And then so when any of the other children have babies, we'll have more pumpkins to add to our Grammy's pumpkins. So there's room for that. I did decrease these in size. So this was a 5-inch, this was a 4-inch, and this a 5-inch, 4.5, and 4. Just to delineate age differences. So the next ones, I may not go back to this biggest size, but I may stay in these 2 sizes and maybe just one little bit smaller, to delineate, ages of the other grandbabies too, like older siblings get a bigger pumpkin, and then any younger siblings. So I can do, I'm not gonna go under the pillow, I'm gonna go over it. I like to get one, that thread is so thick, and then the pillon is adding thickness. That's still easier. Actually, I'm gonna, go that way. Kind of want to make it kind of curvy, like the bottom of the pumpkin is curvy. It's tricky right there. And back down that way. Over that way. Lucy, leave the cat alone. That is my son's puppy. And she is definitely a puppy. She's sweet, but she's puppy, so she's like, ooh, cat, ooh, squirrel, ooh. Just distracted and off over here and off over there. Let's go traipsing off into the woods and drag up whatever we can find. But, I mean, she's not bad. She's a puppy. She'll grow out of most of it. And she's not rough with the cats. She's not like chasing them to be mean. She's like, play with me. And we have chickens in the backyard. She's not messed with the chickens. She's done well. She's done well. She's learning. She's not allowed to go across the road. There are other dogs across the road. She's not allowed to go across the road and play with the other dogs. Simply, well, for one, she's not fixed yet. But she's not yet old enough to be fixed, I don't think. But two, she doesn't, you know, she's a puppy and she doesn't pay attention when she crosses the road. She just darts across the road. And even some older dogs are still terrible about not. I don't know if y'all have ever noticed, but some dogs actually pay attention when they cross the road. She's not there yet. One of our neighbor's dogs doesn't. He does not pay attention when he crosses the road either. And I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It looks so good. I'm so excited. I'm going to get to wear this. And I didn't do just strictly fall colors because I did it on a t-shirt so that in the, you know, fall and winter I can wear a cardigan over it and stay warm. But in the summer, I can just wear the shirt in the summer. So I wanted to be able to wear it year round, so I didn't just do fall colors. But I'm loving it, loving it. Now then, let me tie this off. And I'll show you what my next project's going to be. Yes, I know I still have to finish the crazy quilt, and I'm going to. I promise I'm going to. I just have so many projects that I want to do, and that I have, like I said, I have still been stitching, but it's mostly been on my couch and it's just been to relax in the evenings. So that's what I've been doing, and I'm glad I cut that in half then, because it was just enough. And then I still have this little piece to do something with. And this little piece to do something with. Oh, and this is the Valdani that I used. Well, I'm turned around now. Where's my, there it is. So this is the Valdani, and then I just stranded it out and used, I don't know the other part. I used 3 strands, and I felt like 2 was going to be too thin, and 4, obviously, well, 6 obviously is too thick. So I just stranded it out and did 3 strands. So that's the other 3. So I'll use these 3 to put his initial in there. And then this is the, oh, this is a Valdani too. This is a Valdani 5, which is the same thing. This was a Valdani 5. 0559 is what I did this with, and it's a variegated green. And I did this up here with this, so I'll use this to put his initial up here. I'll have enough of the blue left to put Oakley's initial here. Ah, lovely, lovely, perfect. Yay. Okay, so that's working out great. So then next project's house shoes. I bought these house shoes and I was like, they're kind of bland. I think I can do something with them. So I did do this. So I'll show you how I did this, and you can get you a pair of house shoes and we can do these together. You're just going to need to cut circles in different sizes out in whatever materials you want, and we can do these little flowers. I also added in this like fringy yarn stuff. I really liked how that looked on both of those. So, and then I embroidered this, so I'll show you how I did that. And then again, we've got these little baskets. I've made 2 of these. I had some material. I had bought some material last summer. Not this. Maybe it was this summer. Goodness, I can't keep up. It was this spring. It was early this spring, like March or something. I had bought some material and I had made fringe banners. So I just cut it into a whole bunch of strips, 1.5, 2-inch strips, and tied it onto hemp cord and made banners, because we were doing a thing at the sailing marina, like a meet and greet thing, so everybody was decorating their boats, so I'd used it for that. And then since then I had no use for it, so I was like, you know what, I can make fabric twine, and then dump all my stuff out of it, and then I can use the fabric twine to make things. So I made this basket, and I made another more of a bowl shape thing, and then so I've got enough left. I'm gonna do another something with it, bowl or something with it, so I'll show you how to do that as well. That was a lot of fun and I enjoyed doing that. I'm going on a road trip to my grandmother's house with my mom today, so I've cut out some diamonds and some hexagons to take along with me, so that I can like just stitch and make some patchwork stuff with those while we're on the road. We're just sitting in the evening at my grandmother's house. We are doing a women's Bible retreat study thing tomorrow, and that's part of the reason we're going up, is to join them in that. I'll have to wash this to get that line out of it. The pill-on is already coming. I'm not good at putting pill-on on. I follow the instructions, or at least I feel like I follow the instructions. The iron and the steam and the wet towel and all the stuff, and I just feel like it doesn't stick very well for me. I don't know. Does somebody else do it and it work for them? Like, maybe you should give me some tricks or tips or something. But it's got to stay on there long enough so that I can stitch in Grammy's Punkins. And for that, I'm just going to, I may not have it out here. I may not. I don't have it out here. I have, one of those blue washable markers, and it works well as long as you don't iron over it. Don't, put it on, trace your mark, whatever you want to mark, stitch it, wash it, don't iron it. Don't iron the blue. Don't iron your material with the blue. And she's gone and found a ball. Oh, the things she comes back with. So I'm gonna just hand write Grammy's Punkins here, and then I'm gonna stitch it. And I know I've said in a previous video, I hate stitching letters, and I truly do hate stitching letters. It gets to be so boring. But that's the only, aside from the initials, that's why I decided not to do their full names, and just do their initials, because I really, really hate. But I feel like Grammy's Punkins needs to be here. So I'm gonna put that there. But I mean, I won't do a video on that. You won't have to watch me do that. But the house shoes and the baskets. I've got a pair of pants I'm going to patch and embroider. And they're new. I just bought them and I like them. But they've got a big hole in one of the knees. And I thought, that'd be fine. I have other pants that have holes in the knees. It's not going to be a problem. These are very drafty. Very, very chilly with that hole in the knee. And I don't know. I think it's because they're baggy leg pants and not just, fitted leg pants. So there's a lot of airflow in that hole, I think, is the problem with that. So I am going to patch that. So I may show you how I do that, because I did some other of my, I did some jeans, and just did little flower gardens around the holes of some other jeans that I have. So I may just show you the jeans and then show you. And the pants that I'm going to be patching and stitching are not jeans, they're sweatpants. They're sweatpant material or t-shirt material. But anyway, they're super cute, and I don't mind a little bit of the hole, but I think I am gonna patch it, because it is very drafty with that hole in there. And I fully think it's because they're not fitted leg, they're big baggy legs. So I think there's a whole lot of airflow in there, and I think that's why that one's so chilly. But I'm going to go get ready for my road trip with my mom, and I will see you guys later. Bye.